Welcome to my capstone. Hi, I'm McKenna, and this is my capstone. I am currently a junior at Arizona State University studying psychology and theater with an emphasis in acting. And then I also have 2 minors in sociology and Spanish. Sometimes it could be a lot, but most of the time it's just a lot of fun and a lot of learning. Yeah. My idea with this capstone is to capture my life creating it and the ups and downs, and today's been weird, and so I thought this might be the perfect time to start. I'm gonna try and document as much of the process as possible the next however long year and a half or so. I don't even have a mentor yet, which is on the back burner because there are lots of other things happening, like my bike tire blowing out and homework and leaving my keys at someone's house. It's been a weird day, crazy week, first full week of school. I'm excited for this whole project. Who knows if this is even going to happen. This whole idea might get scrapped, I guess. And that's okay. The semester just started less than a week ago, and I'm already feeling it. I feel like I let myself get overwhelmed, even when I don't need to. But we're working on that. I just watched back that video and the cropping is all off, which it doesn't matter. It shows that this process, I don't know what I'm doing, and that's okay because that's how we learn, and that's the point of this project, is it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. So I hope you enjoyed the close-up of my face. Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
My name is Will Hoxie. Nice to meet you again. Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Austin Edelman.
My name is Caroline.
My name is Henry.
My name is LJ Gomez.
My name is Kate.
My name is Tim Nipper.
I am Logan O'Kelly.
I'm Ruby Dyson.
I'm Olivia Dyson.
Hello. It is Sunday, October 30th, 2022. I am in the middle of taking a Spanish test when I was like, I haven't recorded any of the progress for this capstone since the very first video. And so this is gonna be me kind of going over the very little, not much has happened, but what has developed since the first video. Basically, I have a confirmed mentor and I'm very excited to start working with her. Yeah, I think that is all. Now I have to finish my Spanish exam. Have a good night. Wait, never mind. Just enjoy your time. Okay, bye. How are you?
I'm good.
Doing pretty good today.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing
Oh, sorry.
I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm good.
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm not doing too great.
I'm good. Okay.
I had a really, really bad mental week, but yesterday I pulled it together.
I didn't have a great week last week, and this week is not off to the best start.
Tell me about yourself.
Okay. I am from Arizona. I'm here from Arizona. I am an only child. I grew up just me and my mom together. A bunch of animals in the house, though. I'm a cat person. I love to read. I did competitive swim for I think 12 or 13 years, and now I'm a senior in the acting program at ASU.
I grew up in Seattle, the suburbs of Seattle, a very, very small town. I was a student athlete, I was an actor, I went through just about every hobby a young girl could go through. I'm a little social butterfly when I like to be.
I'm from Pasadena, California. I have two sisters, two older sisters. I'm the youngest. I have a bearded dragon here in Arizona. His name is Gus. I have a dog back home in Pasadena named Kobe. And I like to sing, and I like to dance, and I have my Spider-Man socks on.
I was recently an engineering major at ASU, graduated about 2 years ago, and instead of going into engineering, I've just been doing random creative stuff, whether it's like film things, acting things, and a lot of just like random like event work, or like even if it's just grunt work, it's a lot of fun just to be able to live kind of like a freelance life right now, I think.
I grew up in San Diego, California, and I like to make movies for a living. I like to tell stories and make people feel good through those stories.
I'm an architecture major. I'm at my third year at ASU, from Arizona. I like to draw and paint, and I'll act a little.
I have 2 semesters left, graduating next fall. I'm a double major in theater with a concentration in acting and marketing. I'm from Nebraska. Now I'm living in Arizona.
I am a 21-year-old woman from South Carolina. I'm a photography and communications double major here. I don't know, I like to watch movies and bake.
I'm 26. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and then I went to New York for school at Ithaca College in upstate, and then I moved home, and I currently work as a post-production assistant on The Good Doctor.
I am 24 years old. I am a sister, a hard worker. I don't know what else.
Hello. I just wanted to give a little update. It has been a very long time since I have given an update on anything. And this thing that you're seeing down here is, yes, I am eating a banana currently. This update is that this past semester, it is specifically May 23rd, and this past spring semester has been a whirlwind. So much so that I don't remember parts of it. It's been very hard and difficult, but we made it through. I was very confused about what was happening with me, but we might have figured it out. It's been going good for the past couple months, month and a half-ish now, and we're just gonna keep going on that good path. Schoolwork, and now it's the summer, but I still have schoolwork to do, and that's what I should be doing right now. But I'm gonna go hang out with my friend and enjoy the summer and be good to myself and just let myself have fun and enjoy my very last summer of school, which is very scary to think about.
What is your most significant childhood memory?
Are you thinking like a good childhood memory or like a weird, bad sort of childhood memory? Because there's a lot there.
I would say just generally field days in elementary school.
A lot of my significant childhood moments I think happened when I was in early high school. That like throughout middle school and elementary school, I had ADHD. They put me on medication. I was just kind of being like thrashed around basically. High school, everything sort of mellowed down there.
You know, I took a psychology class in high school, and we had to think of like our first memory that we could remember. Mine is not, it's kind of like, not traumatic, but I never liked to take naps when I was little, and I just remember my grandma like putting me in the nap room and having to like hold the handle of the door closed because I was trying to get out.
I'm thinking about the day that my brother Henry was born. Me, my dad, and my sister went to a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, and they were about to cut the cake when my mom called and was like, I'm in labor, like we need to leave.
It was always like my favorite time of the year. It was finally a sunny day after months of rain and pouring and cloudiness, and we'd all get to go out to the high school football field and play lots of games, get our face painted, and that was something I always remembered.
This was back when I started making short films for the first time when I was around like high school, like late high school. I shot a short film with my friends, and we were completely being reckless on the job. There were like real weapons in the film, and it was like an action movie.
Definitely when I have 2 siblings. I have an older sister and a younger brother. We would go on road trips to where my grandma, she used to live in like central coast of California, and we'd go up there during the holidays and see my cousins who live in Northern California.
And then we showed it to the people at the school, and they were like, no, we can't allow this.
Then we had to leave the party early. We came home, and my parents dropped me and my sister off at our friend's house, but my dad was so nervous that he missed the house and like had to take a block. So I think that's definitely the one I remember like the most vividly.
It's a very significant part of my childhood for me, because that's when I kind of got the gist of like, okay, there are rules to the art that I want to make, and it's that moment. I'm glad that I learned that lesson way earlier than a lot of other people have.
Definitely spending time with my family and my cousins, taking walks and going on hikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just didn't like sleeping.
What was the last dream you remembered about? And what do you think it means?
I really don't remember my dreams, like ever. I couldn't tell you. I've never really remembered my dreams. I don't know what that means, but...
Oh, I had a dream that all of my teeth were falling out.
There was this crazy dream I had actually not too long ago. I was working in a ramen restaurant. I was a waiter. During that whole dream, I was basically working with my family.
I'm not really sure what it means. I don't know if it means like a sense of being out of control or something.
Look, there's nothing like too crazy vivid. I think this morning I set an alarm for 9 a.m. and then I'm like, I'll wake myself up at 10 a.m. But then I have one of those dreams where it's like you wake up and then you start the day, then you like the alarm goes off again. And then you're like, oh, actually I didn't start the day yet.
I think the last dream I remember having, it was, I think, 3 nights ago. I was back at home, and I'm planning like a big Christmas party that I always have with my friends when I'm back home for winter break. And I was just kind of dreaming about that.
I guess that was kind of nice, honestly, because then that means I got to reset the day.
But the family's made up of people that I completely do not know. Every day working at this ramen shop in my dream, they would just be like harassing me and like yelling at me. Eventually in the dream I die, and the dream just continues on past that point. Like a train pulls up, it's like the death didn't even happen. I go down this elevator, and then I get reborn. And that was the last dream I had.
It was really scary because I didn't know why it was happening, because I brushed my teeth. Could be better at it, but I brushed my teeth, so I don't know why my teeth are falling out.
It probably just means that I'm like looking forward to it, ready to be home, ready for finals to be over, and ready to kind of relax, I guess.
It was a very reassuring dream in a weird way. It was kind of frightening, but also kind of reassuring. Meant to me that like I shouldn't like be afraid of death. It's a very natural thing that happens to people. Like in my case in the dream, like I was constantly getting like harassed by my family members, yelled at, screamed at. But then like when I die, it's kind of like maybe sometimes death is the best thing like to happen. That's kind of a disturbing thought, but also it's very real.
What is your dream?
My dream, like for what I want to do?
To be like happy and content.
If I could do anything in the world, probably be a musician.
My dream is to be satisfied with whatever I'm doing, because I always feel like I want to do the next best thing. I always want to be better at something. I always want to do more than I'm already doing, and I want to be living a life that I'm just content in.
I've been thinking about this question a lot, actually. I think as I'm on this journey right now of understanding who I am and what I want to do, and what I want out of life, I feel like that question has constantly been changing for me. What it kind of is generally landing on like right now is I really value the ability to create like good experiences for people, you know? whether that's through like creating art that's meaningful, or even getting like to do performances that are meaningful, or even just getting to help people in that kind of regard. I think I'm still learning what my dream is right now, but I think in a grander scheme, one of my big dreams is to fully understand the person that I am and understand how I can find a like life that fulfills that, you know?
Be able to appreciate the like small moments, the calm moments, because I can't always do that.
I was originally a music major before I switched, and it's getting to that time of year where I'm like, what if I didn't do that? And what if I had stuck with music and kind of pursued that passion?
I just want to tell stories that reassure people that the world is like complicated, but at the same time, like you're not alone in understanding that it's complicated. Like there are other people around you who are suffering in that same way, like just trying to figure things out. But really, it's like the world is constantly changing, and we're never really prepared for that sort of change. And I just want to make stories that connect with people in that way.
To eventually be able to take care of my parents the way I see them taking care of their parents, and be financially stable with a family of my own.
Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert? And how do you know?
Can I say both? Because I really like my alone time.
Introvert. I don't know. People just tire me out.
I'd say that I lean more on the introvert scale, but I can be extroverted. I think that especially around people that I don't know, I can be kind of like shy and reserved.
So that's always been a interesting question for me because I sort of feel like I toe the line, like I'm like an ambivert kind of. There are moments where I feel very introverted, moments where I feel very extroverted. People tell me that I'm extroverted a lot. In terms of like recharging, I recharge by myself.
But when I'm in social situations, I'm able to make conversation.
I would most associate with being an introvert, but I enjoy being around people. There's very few social circumstances where I'm like, oh, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people. I'm like, more people, yay!
I guess I grew up like painting and drawing a lot, and that's a very solo activity. And I played tennis, which is a solo sport. Being alone like helps me regain all my thoughts and think clearly, I think. And yeah, when I'm around people, it's definitely like draining my battery.
But then like once I'm more comfortable around people, I can be more like extroverted, and like sometimes like I don't want to go out, I don't want to do anything, but other times like I really want to go out and want to do stuff. So I think I think I lean more introverted, but I don't know. I think I could be both.
With over 7 billion people in the world, do you think you're unique?
I think so.
We're all unique.
I'd like to think so, but at the same time, I think that I meet so many people where I can see aspects of myself in them, and I can see aspects of them in me. And so I don't know if I'm like wholly unique.
I think everyone, has their own story and how they got to where they are, and all of their experiences affect how you act.
In my heart, I know that I am, but in my head, sometimes like I think that especially like with like social media and like especially like on TikTok and like stuff like that, like it's hard to feel like unique and hard to feel like significant. So I think that sometimes like I get in my head and I'm like, I'm not like there's nothing special about me.
But I do think that there are, even like when I meet someone who's super similar to me, there's always going to be different aspects of us. Like we're going to be slightly different than each other, which I guess makes us unique. But so I would maybe like to think I am completely unique, but I don't necessarily know if that's true.
I know that in my heart and I need to do a better job of reminding myself of there's nobody in the world who is like me.
Hello, it is October 27th of 2023. Today is the day that I'm finally going to be reaching out on social media and directly to friends to help get participants for my capstone. This is something I have been mentally avoiding and physically putting off. There's a plane. Hopefully you can hear me better now. This is something I've been mentally avoiding and physically putting off just because I've been feeling very overwhelmed. There's a lot to catch up on, but that can be at a later date. So what I am alluding to in that previous clip is the fact that in September I was officially diagnosed with OCD. Now, before that, like a year or more before that, I was not diagnosed yet, but I was being treated for bipolar. What the? That's crazy. Bipolar? OCD? How do they? I don't know. But since being diagnosed with OCD, I was referred to this specialty therapy, and so now I've been going to this OCD specialist for 8-ish months because it is May now of 2024. All I have to say, at least from where I am now to where I was filming this, it is crazy how much has changed in such a good way. The therapy mixed with being on the right medication is crazy how much like that can like help you and make you feel good. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but I don't get it. I'm very grateful about it, and I am really enjoying life now. How I struggle with my OCD is less on like the stereotypical ways that OCD is portrayed in the media. It's less like cleaning and like germs or like organizing and making sure everything looks perfect. It's not really that. It's more like mental instead of physical. And it's very relational. I struggle with worry and doubt. My therapist calls OCD the doubting disease, and that's why, you know, an example would be like checking to make sure all the doors are locked before bed 10 times or whatever. I don't do that. But the first like couple months of treatment was solely based on educating me on what OCD is and what it looks like and how it can like show up in different people's lives. The therapy process for OCD is called exposure and response prevention, ERP, and it's just exposure therapy. It can be used in many different ways. For example, back during like Halloween time, I get very anxious around that time, like always on edge because I hate being scared. I found out that that was like some form of meta OCD, which is like the fear of feelings, and I suffer from that a lot. So with that example, it was the fear of fear, and I definitely still struggle with this. But during Halloween time, I like watched more scary movies than I initially would because I was too scared to, because I'm too scared of like jump scares, or it's not even like gory, I just don't like jump scares. And so I'd watch more scary movies, and I went to Spirit Halloween which it sounds silly, but I don't like Spirit Halloween. Like I do, but I get so anxious the whole time that I'm in there. But with my skills, I have been better at that. And there's so much about OCD that I didn't even know was OCD. I could talk about it for a long time because I think it's so interesting. You know, it's not fun to go through, especially when you're in like the thick of it. It was really cool, like learning about all that and like being able to learn about myself and what was happening and a little bit more on the why it was all happening. And like OCD is very highly genetic. Anyways, that's a little update on OCD. Back to your regularly scheduled video. This section is mainly just me talking about how I'm going to be looking for participants. And honestly, that's a really scary thing. That's why I've been avoiding it. It's something that gives me a lot of anxiety because now it's up to me to have all my shit together and be able to confidently conduct these interviews and conversations between people. And like, I have all these thoughts going to my head of like, are the questions what I actually want to be asking? Are they stupid? Will anybody even want to participate? And you know, I just need to put all those thoughts on the back burner, or I don't know, you know, live with them, live in the anxiety, but still be able to push through it and just do it. Just put it out there. Look for participants, ask for help. And that is what I'm going to be doing today. This is a big step for me and in this journey. And I've already had a lot of negative thoughts towards myself because I was supposed to do this weeks ago, but there's no time like the present. I just posted it. Woo! What is success to you?
Ooh, being happy.
Success is so individual.
Being able to find what it is that is like fulfilling to you, I think.
It's one day when I'll look back on all of the things that I've done with my life and I will be happy with what I see.
Being happy with what you're doing, and whatever that means to you. And for me, that means having a meaningful impact in the realm that I exist in.
I think we're all like given very, very different brains, with preferences for different activities, preference for different types of simulation, preferences for different like types of people, circles, etc. And I think this is what my journey is currently right now, like just being young, in my 20s, is like understanding where I fit in and like what I like.
Do you work to live or live to work?
Depends on what I'm working on. If it's you know, if it's art, like if it's acting or theater or film, it's not work to me, it's living. But if it's, you know, going to my job, that's working to live.
I think I work to live.
A mixture of both. I work so I can help myself, like provide for myself. I also like working because it gives me a like routine.
I am of the mindset if I could never work a day in my life and only pursue my passions, which I guess technically is work, but pursue my passions and just kind of sleep in every day and like bake and read and watch movies and hang out with people all day, I think I would much rather do that than like go to my job.
What's holding you back?
Money.
Self-doubt.
I would consider myself a bit of a perfectionist at times.
I've always had it. I don't think I'll ever not have it.
The fact that rent is really high here, and even like when I move after college, like I'll still have to pay bills.
And I think I avoid doing things sometimes if I know that it might not be the result I want.
It keeps me humble, but it also is an iron chain keeping me to the ground.
It's like if I could just live life and never go to work, I would love to, but like you said, like we do have to work to live.
Hello again. It is November 23rd. It is Thanksgiving Day, and I'm currently with my boyfriend's family, and I'm feeling a lot of different emotions. Last night, I had kind of a hard night just thinking about the future, post graduation stuff, how I don't really know what my life is going to look like in a year, less than a year. Something else I'm thinking about is not being with my family for Thanksgiving. I've always enjoyed being there with them, seeing pictures and videos of them being together. I wish I could be with them. I'm very grateful to be here, but just thinking about that kind of stuff. Yeah, I started conducting interviews for this project, and that was one of the biggest things I was most fearful about. I'm sticking with what I have. I just feel so grateful and loved for everyone that's willing to participate and the people in my life. Today is Thanksgiving, and I'm feeling grateful. I feel like a bittersweet kind of emotion right now. Very glad to be here, but trying not to think about the future and trying to live in the present is something that's pretty hard for me, let alone that it's finals. We only have one more week left of school. It's crazy. This semester went by really fast, but also really slow. That's how I can describe it. It's just, I'm feeling weird right now. Not in a bad way, just in a neutral, floaty weirdness. Yeah.
What is something you do differently than anyone else you know, and why?
That's a good question. I think one thing that I try to do differently than others is I try my best to treat people with understanding and empathy and kindness.
I think I challenge a lot of social norms just by being different or pushing some boundaries, but in a respectful way to where people are like, oh my god, he's so crazy, what is he doing?
I think about how people will feel with every action I make. I feel like not everyone does that. I can tell when people don't do that.
I've never been asked this before. I am very aware of how someone sounds, like their vocal patterns. I love accents. I love linguistics. I love phonetics. I think it's super fascinating. That's why I'm always really focused on how someone says specific things, the patterns of their voice, their specific accent. I listen for that, and I'm aware of that more than other people might be in conversations.
I think especially working in an industry where there's so many opportunities to make enemies, and there's so many opportunities to start beef and create beef, and for people to have upset feelings about this, that, or whatever. I feel like even if people wrong me, I still try my best to understand it from their perspective. I definitely think that I try my best to have empathy towards other people, even if they do wrong me, which has been really, really difficult at times, but I think has ultimately led to me having a much, much more peaceful life.
I like to wear a lot of shoes that other people consider ugly. There's something about shoes that when I show my mom, she's like, those are hideous. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I love them. I don't know, something about them being not actually cute really endears me to them.
How do you think other people perceive you?
Oh. I don't know. And it's so funny that you asked me that, because I've been been talking to my therapist about this.
People tell me that they're people be like everybody knows you or everybody loves you. Among my friends, I think yes. I not to brag, but my friends like me.
I feel like people see me as someone who is a good friend and is always there for people if they need somebody to talk to,
with a very strong personality.
I think initially I might be a little scary because I'm very tall. I'm not very tall, I'm 6'3", but if you just talk to me, I think people like to think I'm nice and funny, easy to talk to. I do a lot of bits, like I like to pretend that I'm like mad or like that I'm messing with you.
I think people describe me as funny, caring, kind, and I have a very strong personality, but that's just to overcompensate for other insecurities that I have.
Is always down to like go out or or to stay in. I think I'm a very reliable friend and a very reliable person, and I like to help my friends whenever they need it.
I think people that I don't know either think I'm a lot or think I'm like chill. And it kind of depends on how they are. They're gonna stick up their ass. I'm probably not gonna like talking to them. So, but I'd say generally people perceive me positively.
Hello. It is March 18th. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and life has been good. The first half of this semester was like, I was so busy. All of my weeknights were taken up by Clue rehearsals, and either I would have school until 3 or I would work 6 a.m. to 3, and I'd work on the weekends, like with doing homework and trying to find time for social stuff and eating. And yeah, it was a lot, but it was good. Like, I really enjoyed myself. My mental health has gotten so much better. Like, I think with the right combination of like the therapy starting to, like, it's showing up for itself. I've been in this specific OCD therapy since September. Once January hit, I felt like it was all paying off. Like, I could start to feel the differences. And again, right medication also helps. So it's crazy. Like, I've been happy. Yeah. It's been good. Yeah, so I was in Clue. I just got back from Phoenix Theater dance callbacks for their general season auditions. That went good. Turning in my rough drafts today to my mentor. Approximately an hour and a half long right now. I don't know how I'm going to send it to her with a file this big. I think the process of doing this capstone is not what the initial plan was. That's okay, and I've become more okay with it as time has gone by. I'm making this the way that I want to, with the resources I've had and the time that I've had. I would be enjoying the editing process a lot better, I think, if my computer was not so slow and laggy. I can't move clips around very easily or quickly. I don't know what the solution would be, but I might take my computer in. Hopefully gonna get that figured out. That's the only issue right now, is that it's been making this editing process a lot more difficult. It won't even let me do anything. I get the spinning wheel of death all the time. It's been... But we made it through. It's not letting me. I was very confused about what was happening. There it goes, spinning wheel of death. I literally... That's kind of the update for right now, is that everything is filmed for the most part, and I just need to splice it all together, which I've been looking forward to this part. I just wish my computer would cooperate a little bit better, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. And then I'm gonna paint tonight, but yeah, that's it. Bye.
What would you say is the meaning of life?
To live.
Life itself.
I was actually just journaling about this the other day.
What's the point of being alive if you're not living with what's around you and, you know, just taking a second to stop and breathe and just actually pay attention to the room that you're in or the sky that's above you. I think it's just so important.
That it's always gonna be changing. Some things are reactions of others, some things happen for a reason, sometimes things just happen. We can't control it, but just do our best and live the most fulfilling life that you can.
Be happy and enjoy your time with people, to be content and enjoy the little moments.
Just to have fun and make some cool experiences, to just be as kind as possible.
I'm gonna double back. It's to be happy. I think if you're not happy, what are you doing?
I think find love, but not necessarily in a romantic sense, if that makes sense. Find love in everyday life.
I would say having fun and loving each other and not like taking life for granted and just spending time like with the people that you love, whether that's your family or your friends or whoever.
One nuance that I think is really interesting is learning to weed out the means versus the meaning.
I don't think that we are born with a specific like plan for our life. I don't think that there is a real thing that you have to do when you're born in order to like have a fulfilling life. It's entirely up to you when you're born and how you go about it.
It's something that I've been trying to practice a lot recently, where if that means like not listening to music on my way to school one day and just like looking around me for once in my life, like I've been trying to do that.
I can't imagine another goal in life. Oh, to get money. But if you're not happy, it's like, what are you gonna? Is that gonna change that? No. You know, it's to have a family. If you're not happy with that, why are you doing it?
I don't know if this really counts, but I would say everything happens for a reason. Just enjoying it, how life goes. Like, does that make sense?
I think it's very easy to get lost in the means of the things that we do in order to sustain our lives. But I genuinely don't think that we're just, no different than the apes whose only concerns are their survival and longevity. I think we were meant to find meaning and to find things that like mean and have like value to us.
I feel like a lot of people place expectations on themselves, but those expectations really mean nothing at the end of the day because it all comes down to what that person really wants to do. It's their life, so it really is like what they end up doing with it.
I was talking to my roommate the other day. He's a finance major. We were talking about careers, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not really, I don't really love finance." I'm like, "Why are you majoring in?" He's like, "Oh, well, it's good money." I'm like, "So you're gonna spend the next 40 years of your life doing something that you hate for the possibility that once that's done, you'll be happy?"
That being said, though, there are people who are definitely born in situations where they do not have that luxury. Like, they do not have the money to go out and do like what they really want to do. And at that point, it's just, I'd say that I guess there is actually a meaning to life. I'm sorry. The meaning to life is just trying to figure out how to get by in life and feel fulfilled with what you're doing. And it sucks that is the case where people are born into those circumstances. But like, just given the climate that America is in right now, I do not think that, I think that the best thing that we really can do at this point, without any like significant change happening, is just learning how to be fulfilled with what we have.
There's a big misconception that love has to always be romantic. And I think that, especially this year, like with the impending graduation and me like leaving, I'm starting to realize like it can be a lot more, like my love for my friends and my love for like the classes I take and for my passions. So I think that for me, the meaning of life is to just find love in everyday situations.
Everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that.
Just having fun and being around the people that you love and that love you.
And I think part of that is meaning of life is to learn to distinguish the means versus the meaning. We have to do things that allow our survival. We have to go out there, we have to earn money, we have to make friends, we need to find, communities. But recognizing what the means are versus the meaning, I think, is kind of enraptured in what the meaning of life is, in my opinion.
You have to find happiness in what you're doing in every moment you exist. You can't just wait for it to happen, because then it'll never happen.
Hello. This is just like a kind of random pop-up time where I thought I would talk about what I'm experiencing right now. Today's been weird. I was supposed to go to therapy at 10 a.m. We didn't go because just, kept sleeping. And my therapist called me a couple times, but I didn't answer because I just wanted to keep sleeping. I don't know what I'm going to tell her about why I didn't come to therapy. But I woke up at 2:30 p.m. I missed 2 full classes, missed therapy, and I had work in less than 2 hours. So what do? I continue to lay in bed with very little happening in my brain. And I feel like I can't move, so I just continue laying there. It gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I'll just call out of work today. So I told them I wasn't feeling well. I haven't felt this way in a long time, where I feel stuck, physically stuck. I feel unmotivated. I feel like I don't care. I don't like feeling this way because it's scary, because it reminds me of how I used to feel for a very long time. And I get nervous that when stuff like this comes up again, that it will be here to stay again and it won't go away again. After having days like this, it's just really hard to get back going again. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about.
What is the meaning of your life?
To love others, I think.
I think just to be happy. It kind of goes in what I want to do when I'm older, what my dream is just being content and making the most out of every day.
I would say to connect with people, because that's, I think, what makes me the happiest.
I would say that it's my job, but really I think that it's not.
I feel like it changes every year.
Kind of like how everything happens for a reason. I had a coworker a couple years ago. She told me that somebody is put into your life for a reason. That coworker and I are no longer friends anymore, and I think that the impact I think the meaning of my life is to make impact on other people's life, hopefully for the good, sometimes for the bad.
I feel like I'm still figuring that out. One thing that I do feel confident about is that I'm really happy and grateful for the way that I've been able to treat others throughout most of my life.
Currently, I don't know, I really like my work and my projects and my art.
I feel like the more you give, the better you feel just in general. Whether that's me baking cookies for a friend or studying with somebody.
It's the satisfaction of theater comes from having people come up to you after a show and be like, oh my God, this character was just so, I felt so drawn to them, and I could sense all this emotion you were carrying, and that's why I love theater so much, is you have that live reaction.
But especially this year, I feel like I really struggled with not working because of the strikes and stuff like that. I feel like when I wasn't working, I was the only I feel like the only thing that defined my life was working and what I'm able to show from my job and stuff like that. And so I really had to kind of like dig a little deeper and try to like find other things.
At the end of the day, a job is just something that we're like required to do to get by. But like at the same time, it's how we go about that specific job that could actually be like the meaning to my life.
But while I'm still trying to search out the specific meaning for my life, I think part of the meaning of my life is to learn who I am as a person and find how I can like translate that into something actionable for the world. Whether it's, doing good work, which can create like, value for others, or just learning to live a beautiful life.
So I think I get really passionate about that. And I think that drives me a lot, along with just, the relationships with people in my life.
I really think about the fact that when we're like 40, when we're 60, we would give anything to be like in our young bodies like right now. And I think as young people, then it really is our like responsibility to then like be grateful for the fact that we have a young bodies and we can like run around and jump and have spontaneous road trips and meet random people in random places and get to live this life that we might wish we could live more when we're like 40, 60, etc.
To bring joy to other people.
Understanding that some days are going to be hard, but it means that a good day's coming afterward.
Always keep people on their toes.
I think finding ways to give to others is, in my opinion, my meaning in life.
I think like meeting people and like growing with them is meaning of my life.
If I had the choice to just go off and like live in a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, like in the forest for the rest of my life and just kind of chill out there, I would. But at the same time, we live in a world where we need to like put something out there in order to get that sort of freedom. I'd rather use my time making people feel better and happy with themselves through my work than make some exec happy. I'm proud of what I do. I'm happy about it.
And I think in a broader sense, being able to just connect with friends, partners, and family, being able to make their lives meaningful through whatever I can do to influence that. I'll be happy if I can do that.
So I guess the meaning of my life is just trying to get through with putting my best foot forward, and even if I can only give 20 or 30% of myself, is still giving 100% of that 20 or 30%. I think is what I think. I don't know.
Lastly, is there anything you would like to say or add?
Animals have souls too. I guess that's it. If that's a hill I'm gonna die on, it's a good one.
Vote McKenna Garvey for president 2024.
I don't think I have anything specific, honestly.
I think I'm good.
If I just had to say like one thing to people in general, like the one piece of advice that I would give to a lot of people is that they should be more in control of who they are friends with, who they let into their life.
To like kind of tie the last two together, I do think that the more you're willing to give, the more you are going to find that love in everyday life, if that makes sense.
I think that especially now in this state of the world, that we could all benefit from loving each other even if we are different.
People are better off if they embrace that life is a journey. That sounds so very cliche, but I think it really is true.
A lot of the time people, especially with the rise in social media, primarily like TikTok, people want their life to look a certain way, and they expect if they like see a viral TikTok trend or something that their life is going to be like that, which is not necessarily true.
And if you really don't love them, then you don't have to interact with them. I feel like the world is filled with so much hate when it's not necessary. People are gonna live their life no matter what you do or what you say.
Because there have been like many times where I've had friends that have eventually like done things to me that I've kind of just allowed, and I really regret that. It's affected me psychologically. Make time for the people that make time for you.
2 years ago, before I went into therapy, I was a not happy person, you know? And 2 years before that, incredibly spiteful. I was not enjoyable to be around. And I like to think that is no longer the case.
The more that you're willing to kind of show love to people and show them that you care and show them that you're there, the more likely it is that you're going to feel fulfilled and happy in your life. When I notice myself feeling sad or lonely, it's because I haven't been making an effort to give, and I haven't been making an effort to actively love people in a way that I feel like they should be.
So I think that people just need to remember that life is different for everyone, and if you see someone online do something that you think would be good for your life, but it doesn't turn out that way, not to be too hard on yourself, and to stop comparing yourself to people online, because it's really a toxic cycle, and taking social media breaks is a very good idea.
You know, that's the big thing. I've had a couple of friends that in order to hang out with them, I have to be the one that makes the plans all the time and stuff. But it's kind of nice and like reassuring when like a friend kind of reaches out to you and is like, "Hey, we should go grab coffee or sometime," or just it's just little signs that show that they care about you. I think that keeping those people around is very important.
The thing that comes to mind is like, just leave people alone. Just let people are gonna do what they want to do.
You know, life changes and improves, and in some ways, you know, it gets worse, but you can easily overshadow that by the positive things that you bring into your life, and you have the power to bring that in.
I think the more you give, the more you kind of self-receive.
Don't get lost in caring so much about what other people do. Just focus on what you do and like what you love and what you stand for.
Understanding that, yeah, some things happen to you, but you also happen to the world. You can influence and change how that happens.
Right. To personally sum everything up, I cannot be more grateful for everything that has happened to me over the last 617 days. I would never have guessed that this would be where I am. I'm excited to take on, the next steps. I graduate in less than a week, and then life starts to happen, I guess. Or so I've been told. I think nerves are always going to be there, but the overall feeling is joy and excitement. I have a lot of people that I care about in my life, and I can finally say that I care about myself. I'm happy and I am thriving. Happy to say it. I've learned a lot about myself through this project, and I'm very happy that I decided to go with this project because I didn't care about this project the majority of the time I was working on it. I didn't care at all, actually, until probably February when I started editing the thing together, because as I started piecing everything together, I realized just how much I have changed and grown over the last year and a half. I have found out a lot about patience and technique and creativity and being myself, and just how much I love editing and making videos similar to like this similar style. Like I love this kind of concept. So one of my biggest takeaways is that I want to keep making videos like this, whether for myself or for others. I love telling real stories, and I think it's really important for people to listen to those stories. I just want to say thank you so much for watching my capstone and supporting me throughout this journey. Thank you to all the participants who I interviewed and helped me with this project. Thank you to my mentor, Amanda Pintor. Thank you to my parents and my family and all of my friends, my boyfriend. Thank you to my therapist, to all the people that have come into my life or have stayed in my life over the past 617 days. Thank you. I am eternally grateful for you all. And have a wonderful morning, night, afternoon, or whenever you're watching this.
Zooming in. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bearing with me.
TLDR, somewhere in the middle.
I think a lot about the metaphor of like someone trying to hand out like a gold coin in like Times Square, you know, something that's like really, really valuable. And so many people will walk by and like not want to take this thing from a stranger, and that's totally okay. But it's not an indictment on the value of the coin itself. It's just an indictment on the people's ability to see the value in that thing.
Will you sign this petition?
For what?
To allow independent candidates on the primary.
Are they not already?
Correct. Currently, it's only bipartisan.
Oh. Do I have to be?
Arizona voter.
No. Sorry.
Yeah. And give Kenna an A.